everybody. Today we will check how many burgers can be made from a whole bowl. This particular bowl weighs as much as 155 kilograms. Write your suggestions in the comments. How many burgers do you think that we're gonna get? I think that there will definitely be at least 400. So let's start with the cutting. The first thing we'll cut off is the fleshy neck. The ridge needs to be cut with a cleaver. And we finish cutting. Next, we separate the front leg. Just cut it under the shoulder blade and lift it up. And this part is very easy to separate. Perfect. Next, we walk with a knife along the ridge, removing the meat from the back. Stretch and gradually trim, removing the whole meat layer. To make it easier and faster, we will carve together. We will also cut off the abdominal part. We remove the layer of meat from the second half. Now we separate the second front leg. And we cut the meat out of hard-to-reach places so that our experiment is as honest as possible. Now we try to clean up the bones to the max. Also, there is some meat left between the ribs. It needs to be removed. Perhaps the largest amount of meat in the bowl is in its hind legs. Let's do the deboning. As a result, we're left with a skeleton that we do not need. And this is the mountain of meat that we're left with. But there are still bones in the front legs, so they need to be separated from the meat. That's what we're going to do now. That's it, there are no more bones here, and let's move on to the slicing. First, we cut off a large strip. And cut that into smaller pieces that can easily fit into a meat grinder. We're not going to separate the fat off because minced meat usually needs it for juiciness. We will simply put the resulting pieces on the table in front of us. This is a very long stage, and in order to speed it up, we will work together. It went much faster that way. Two hours later, it turned out like this, a mountain of prepared meat. Especially for the video, I bought a professional meat grinder. We put the meat inside the saucer. It's just really huge here. Put a bowl down. And turn on the meat grinder. We begin to grind the meat. We will use a large grid so that the meat texture is felt more in the cutlets. I'm shocked at how much faster it grinds meat compared to a household meat grinder. And so the process doesn't stop. The second person will constantly replenish the saucer with new pieces of meat. Literally 3 minutes later, our bowl is completely filled with minced meat. Turn it over on the side on the table and return it to its place. And we continue. So we ground the meat of one bowl in just 30 minutes. This hefty mountain of minced meat needs to be distributed all over the table so that there is more convenient to work further. There we go. To make the cutlets delicious, we will definitely add black pepper. And salt. This volume will take 1.5 kilograms of salt. We distribute it as evenly as possible. And now you need to mix it all thoroughly with your hands. It would seem like this is pretty simple, but this took another 40 minutes. And finally, the minced meat is mixed. For the next stage, we need a large tray. We're gonna put little hills on it. We take a lump of minced meat, form a ball from it, and then we crush it to make a cutlet. Done. We put it on the tray. We also made the second and third cutlets, but realized that they do not turn out to be dense at all and of different thicknesses. It's not going to work that way. So that all the cutlets are the same, we will use a special mold. We put the minced meat in it, pressing it hard from the top. Remove the excess minced meat. And that's it, you get a cutlet. Now this is what we need. And to speed up the process, I bought 3 forms at once. We will form the cutlets in 6 hands. We continue until we completely fill the tray. The first layer is ready, so we take it away. And we immediately send it to the freezer since the minced meat is a perishable product. Then we start a second tray. And we continue to form the cutlets until all the minced meat is finished. That's it. Most of the freezer is now filled with these cutlets, so you can close it up. Also, we will have pickles on our burgers, so we need a lot of them. We open up the package. We open up a jar. And we proceed to the cutting. We will cut into circles. Afterwards, we'll dump it into a gastro capacity. We have way too many pickles here, so we're gonna need 3 knives working. We're left with 2 full gastro capacities. Also, we're going to need onions for the burgers. Cut off the tail, the root, and then in half. First, all the onions need to be peeled. And finally sliced. Just top it up into half rings. Done. Drop this all into another gastro capacity. Perfect. All of the onions are chopped. One of the main components of a burger is the bun, so we'll need a lot of them. But here we found out that the first type of bun was sliced, but the second one was not. Therefore, we're gonna have to do it ourselves. So that the buns do not get soaked by the burger juices, they need to be fried. And we'll do this on a hot surface. We turn the heat onto the max. And you can spread out the 2 halves of the buns. After 15 seconds, the crust is ready, and you can take them off. We'll put these in a plastic container. And continue. Each half now has a crust, so we cover up the box with lids. And we move on to the next stage. The cutlets are already a little bit frozen. Therefore, we transfer them back to the table. Sprinkle the grill with oil. And let's put the cutlets on there. Ten pieces fit easily, but I'm sure that more will also fit. Let's fry them for 3 minutes on one side, and then turn them over. In 3 more minutes, they are ready. We stack them on top of each other. And we transfer them to a container. Of course, we will use all the electric grills that we have in stock. Therefore, we also filled them up with cutlets. These girls are not so powerful, and the cutlets are cooked on them a little bit longer. We flip them over. After 4 minutes, you can take them off. And we continue on. There has never been such smoke in this kitchen like there is today. Five hours later, 2 containers are filled up with burgers. As a sauce for the burgers, there will be a classic, ketchup. We open up a bucket. For convenience, we're going to need to pour the ketchup into special bottles for sauces. We tighten up the lids. There we go. The second sauce is mustard. We open up the buckets. And we scoop it into the sauce bottles as well. Screw on the lids, and the mustard is also ready. The last component for the burger is cheddar cheese slices. So during these 3 days, we've prepared a lot of cutlets, sliced and fried buns, cheese, chopped onions, pickle slices, and of course, sauces. Now we start the assembly with the buns. We open them up. Next, lay out the cutlets. 1 for each of them. Now the sauces. First, pour some ketchup over the burger, and then sweet American mustard. Perfect. The next in line is fresh onions. We spread a little bit on each burger. Then the pickles, 2 or 3 slices per burger. And finally, cheese. It is very convenient when there was no packaging on each slice. We spread 1 slice per burger. All that needs to be done now is cover them up with the top bun. The first batch of royal cheeseburgers is ready. We transfer them over to saran wrap. Thus, we have a burger assembly line. Each ingredient is laid out in the right sequence, and the burgers are assembled fairly quickly. In total, one bowl left us with 480 hefty burgers. It took us 5 hours just to assemble them. And from the butchering of the bowl to this point, 4 days have passed. As a result, it turned out to be one of the most time-consuming videos that we have ever shot. I think that this is definitely worth your like. Are you really waiting for the answer to the question, how much do all these burgers cost? We calculated the cost of the products and it turned out to be $852. For example, the same number of McDonald's cheeseburgers would cost us $1,423. But keep in mind that the cutlet at McDonald's is twice as thin. Let's finally try our hefty royal cheeseburger. It's really tasty. We want to take these burgers to the children in need. Therefore, to make it convenient for them to eat, we put the burgers in craft paper envelope and put them in a huge container. After another hour, all the burgers are packed, and you can transfer them to the car. Wow, to give the children something to drink, we brought many more cans of cola with us. When the children saw a trunk full of burgers and cola, they were really happy. And we began to move everything to the table. The older children handed out burgers to the younger ones. And everyone finally started having lunch and washing it all down with soda. I think that they were pretty happy. And if this video here gets 200,000 likes, then I promise to come up with another super large scale video like this one. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything. Bye, everybody!